If you paid any attention at all in English class in school, you learn that punctuation marks are the traffic cops of language. They tell us what to do and when to do it, and the commas, the periods, and the semicolons make it possible for a writer to make sure that he or she is understood by readers everywhere. Sloane Crosley, the author of the new collection of humor essays, How Did You Get This Number?, has a slightly different perspective. And in this edition of what we call the Writer's Rant, she explains what she really thinks about what should be done and not done with punctuation.
Why are you asking me about the question mark, or the lack thereof, in my title? My name is Sloane Crosley. I am the author of How Did You Get This Number Without a Question Mark? And this will be my writer's rant, explaining why a question mark is inherently chicky and feminine. I just felt like, the second you're a woman, you sit down and you start to write, people automatically assume it's chick lit. I don't know if you can curse on this thing, but I was like, I don't really write about that shit. There's something about the question mark that seems, with How Did You Get This Number, one of two routes. One is it seems a little bit bitchy, like how the bleepity bleep, did you get this number? Or a little kind of caustic and abrasive. I don't want to go around with the question mark. For the same reason I didn't want, I was told there'd be cake to be written in icing on the cover of the title of the book. It seems super on the nose. And then the other way it comes across is a little bit unsure if it's not that. Having a question mark, is it different being a female writer? All these things you have to sort of overcome. I just didn't want a question mark on there. I wanted it to be strong and powerful. It is kind of rhetorical. No one actually says that, especially in the age of cell phones, where really people aren't going on dialing sprees. It's really something that's sort of a little tiny bit old-fashioned to say, which I liked. It's more like, oh God, what now? Instead of being defensive, it's a little more passive. And I think when you have the essays I write, which can be, a little bit have embedded with zingers, and which has, a big random bear on the cover and is meant to be a tiny bit edgy. The last thing you need is the wrong kind of edge.
That was Sloane Crosley, the bane of English teachers everywhere. Her new book is called How Did You Get This Number? And that's our show. For more information about the books and authors featured on this program, go to www.penguin.com/literarylife.